Recluse. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that they could never quite shake. In the morning, the sun would rise. At night, it would set. Recluse would observe the splendor, knowing that the sight would be made all the more beautiful by having someone to share with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that they had burned them one too many times, that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child. That's what they wanted. Someone to take care of, to teach. Unfortunately, there was a longing that could not be found, not in these woods alone. However, they were never quite as alone as we think, are we? One day which appeared as it dawned but the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through her hands as they spotted her, the witch of the woods. She began to speak. You, if you desire a child, yes, for some reason. Those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it seemed. Let us make a deal then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with a daughter of your very own. The recluse caught up in a moment of naivety, quickly agreed, which, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. There have been some activities I've been meaning to get to. Perhaps you could make yourself useful and cross off one off the list for me. Not realizing that they were simply saving a week some time, the recluse determined which task they were most suited for. Neutralize the most dangerously volatile regions. Prepare a witch a comforting meal. Restock a selection of unsettling components. Interesting. What is life without a little excitement? The recluse thought, and what was more excited than working with something they could likely harm you? Thankfully, they made quick work of the strange items. They even managed to escape with all limbs intact. Arriving back to the meeting point, the recluse was excited to report a protest to the witch. Ah, very good. How kind of you. After quickly wiping themselves down, the recluse returned to their hut for the remainder of the night. The second day, the recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose again soothed them, even if they had found themselves. Wait, wait, so is the recluse one person or is the recluse a family? Like a mother and father? I don't know. They elected not to think. I'm guessing it's a mother and a father. Then I thought it was just one person, like just one woman. They elected not to think about that though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which is to say, they got up and went to meet the witch, to do the witch's bidding. Upon the recluse's approach, a sardonic smile lit the witch's face. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more, and I can finally give you what you want. How does it make sense? Like, where is the witch gonna conjure up a human baby? Like, is the witch gonna make a recipe, or does the witch have a recipe to conjure up a human baby? What the heck? She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. Your child will come into this world with little to a name. Let us even the skills. Wow, you know what would have actually been good? Okay, so say now that Okay, I was thinking that maybe like the witch in law needs them to complete these tasks so that she can like, I don't know, maybe it's like a spiritual law or something where like they need to like fulfill three requirements because like one of them, for example, maybe requires that okay, so say now like the family's poor, right? And maybe there's like a belief that um okay, the baby in its current state will kind of grow up with nothing in the world because the family's poor, right? So they need to kind of like do all these things so that the baby's life can be better, you know? So when like the baby gets into the world, that the baby's standard of living is better. So yeah, they kind of have to like okay, so maybe like the first goal would be like um they have to like maybe increase the luck of the baby or whatever. You know, to like increase the chance of like the baby having that's really what to explain. Bring me an ill. Something she will forever value. Hmm. I kind of wonder if like the whole idea is that she kind of wants to I don't know if the whole idea is that like the goals and aspirations are set up for the baby. I don't know. This kind of made me thinking. The recluse thought on it briefly, searching through their home for the object they had pictured. A dog with a tome. Why the hell would you? What is a dog with a tome? That sounds like something you wouldn't want a baby to have. Your most used cast iron skillet. Is this not because she's a woman? Okay. A glimmering music box. You know what? Let's go with a dog with a tome. Let's make a little bit evil. Once it had been said to the recluse that knowledge is power, they weren't sure about that. Books often contained fanciful things, things that the recluse never got much use out of, but perhaps they would be more useful to their daughter. Hmm, maybe because they can't read, maybe? Maybe they wanted to be like a powerful magician when she grows up? Uh, something trait tome. Bringing the prize back to the witch, she simply gave a smile. How perfect. After a brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. The third day. With two assignments complete, the recluse could feel the excitement grow. Hmm. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt that she was, then that meant that this could be the last night they spent without a child. Hmm. Again, why are you that desperate to have a child from a witch? They hope so, at least. That was all they could do. Like, like something in the back of your mind has to like tell you that yeah, that's not the only three things you're gonna have to do. Like, come on now. It's not that easy to bring children to this world. Come on now. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dead. Like, again, how is the witch gonna do this? Like, is she gonna like make like a potion to I guess make her ovulate? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Cause yeah, I don't understand how the witch is gonna do this. Really, they didn't even like ask any questions. Also, they're not like suspicious or I suppose they just like really desperate and just want a quick way to do things. But it doesn't make sense. So like, how is the witch gonna do that? Like, come on now. Really remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, Recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? The last task is an easy one, or at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright that you think will suit her. Hmm. You know, I was not thinking of the colors of the rainbow. Like imagine the witch seemed like the witch just gave a bunch of riddles and then they must like figure out like what the riddles are and then bring something like it. Like I was thinking that maybe the witch like says, bring me the colors of the rainbow, and then they kind of bring a blanket maybe. There's like the colors of the rainbow, like normal voodoo shaman stuff, because like the people that are into the supernatural stuff are never like speaking in literal meanings of anything, you know. When they were first told of the three tasks, the recluse had imagined things that were much more difficult. This seemed so easy as to be a trick. Oh, oh, now we get to that pattern of thinking? No, on the third task, on the third task, now we get to that pattern. Oh my god, nah, come on now, come on now, come on now. Three tasks? You didn't find the three tasks alone to be suspicious? Three tasks that has nothing to do with. Okay, I suppose some of the tasks had something to do with like the baby. Again, I don't get what the third task is supposed to accomplish also. In any case, which they suppose only meant they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. Yeah, I mean, you're too deep in now. I mean, you might as well go all the way. With death in mind, the Recluse needed to decide where to search for color. Yeah, where do you search for color in a colorless world like this? Come on now. A stony river. Are you kidding me? Oh, I pressed the wrong part. Fuck. Though underwater was in the first place, most people thought of color. The Recluse understood that there were many shades that people felt. Well, happy accidents. They arrived at a nearby river, glancing into the glassy water to spy a variety of small shining stones. Obsidian, dark, glassy ghosts of painted. Oh, I'm not pressing a button again. Jaspers, Jasper Nature's deep brown canvas. Brimstone, a yellow alchemical wonder. A strange, almost bloody stone. Turquoise price symbols of luck and fortune. Why do I never pick these? Why do I never want to pick these? I'm probably gonna create some evil monster. Huh. The witch never actually said if the child would be human or not, now that I think about it. So, I'm guessing that's where the story's going. Hopefully not, but you know how these things usually go. A vivid view of a chunk of turquoise caught the recluse's eye, beckoning their hand. The stone presented itself like the sky, like the waters, like a purity rarely seen. Stone in hand, they returned to the witch, captivated by nature's beauty. Hmm, that's nice. The returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. It's nice how the UI changes also. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. Oh, ho, ho. You wanted your promised daughter. You want your promised daughter, don't you? Oh, don't fuck with me, witch. I will beat your ass. Her voice was almost mocking, but at least it was not overtly cruel. I suppose I must tell you that I know. Oh my. Not even. You couldn't even conjure up the fucking baby. You had to lie about it too. I do require several more trifling things. Why didn't you say that before? Like, did you? I'm pretty sure these people would have jumped hoops for you. You didn't need to say that you now require sailor. No, come on now. I mean, first is the medal. Why? Why payment? Why? Why only now do you ask for payment? That makes no sense. The recluse should have known that everything is for a cost. Well, if the witch never mentions a cost, then how the flip are you supposed to know there's a cost to this? You would have thought that the task was the cost. Come on. Pay me now as well. Pay me now with life. Pay me with Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose. Interesting. Hmm. I'm interested to see how this one turns out. The recluse told the witch they couldn't repay her, not anytime soon. This is fine, of course. I will collect payment eventually. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop it. You're telling me that the witch is gonna give me a mushroom, and this mushroom is somehow gonna become a baby. That I don't. Wait, I thought the mushroom is gonna turn into a baby, or the mushroom is. What is going on here? What is the mushroom like? Meant it's like some sort of what's the one I'm looking for here? Yeah, I don't know the word. Collateral, there's it. Simply give her time. As much as she needs, soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose with all that settled, though, there is one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. Oh, wait, huh? The recluse thought on the witch. Wait, so she took a mushroom, and the mushroom's supposed to become a child. And if they don't give payment, then you're just gonna turn the child into a mushroom again. Interesting. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing that they had to give. What is her name? Let's go with this one. No. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Chapter 2, Cultivation. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed the instructions. Care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. So they still have to raise the mushroom, so the mushroom becomes a child. Finances in case the nearby village had good resources that we could not provide. Nutrients for the child to help it grow strong, they would need plenty as it would be depleted. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. One day, you awake slightly earlier than usual. In your som- somnambulant state, you hear an ethereal croon originating from your garden. When you go out, you spot it. A small fairy clad in turquoise is sitting amongst your crops. Hold a small fairy guarding your daughter's room using supplies. Catch the fairy to send in town. Offer a coin to the fairy to gain a favor. Hunt the fairy to use as food for your dog. Wow. How do I know the how do I know the fairy would be who didn't follow the daughter? I don't know. Let me just offer a coin. The fairy can barely love the coin but seems grateful as they sprinkle a small pile of fairy dust for you to collect. You're unsure how to use it but feel personally better for having it all the same. The decision being made, life continued. The day's gotten away from you. Already, the sun's gentle descent is being swallowed behind the forest ridge. You weren't able to finish everything you set out for today, but you only have time for one more chore. You've already worked hard enough to time for the table. Purchase new construction material for your hut. Finish a favor the religious leader asked of you. Part of her some fine substances to better grow your daughter. Yeah, let me do that. An amateur mycologist in the village recently informed you that he had new supplies that may interest you. Deciding to take him up on the offer, you come to the conclusion after a brief meeting that he was right. You take home a fine new pouch of soil and you take some of your hard-earned cash. Oh my goodness, I'm almost broke. Your task behind you, when your daughter returned home, each threw a nice blast in some dinner. Huh? Wait, so is the daughter not the mushroom? I don't understand. Huh? Something's happening. Going straight mushroom creature. Your daughter. The flippin' mushroom is the daughter. Oh my goodness. Your daughter has turned in the night. One day you awaken suddenly, discovering that your mushroom has gained enough limbs to propel themselves around the house. The creature toddles on uneasy legs, bumping into objects noisily, and a cute face now shows a vacant expression. Her demeanor seems pensive and unsure, sometimes staring only at unfamiliar objects. Encourages thoughtfulness. Spend time nurturing her environment. Motivated to do something more productive. Encourages thoughtfulness. Your daughter's development is going better than expected, and you want to promote her inquisitive nature. You gather a collection of unusual things from around your house for her to look at, such as nooks, antiques, and broken tools. She continues to observe the things you bring her for long hours, seemingly finding some enrichment in activity. I feel like this is one of those games that have no good ending. The decision being made, life continued. One evening you hear a light knocking at your door, quite a reoccurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the witch of the woods standing on the doorstep of the humble hut. Could you be here for a minute with the secret dead? Who do I want to do that? Privately request a stipend. Interesting. You know what? Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. He could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other. You wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. The decision being made, life continued. Harsh weather has taken its toll on your garden, and your entire harvest has been lost. Wow! Weeks worth of food and labor has been rotted and destroyed. Without immediate action, you and your daughter will be in trouble later down the line. over garden again. No use crying over crops, you simply make adjustments to your garden. There will be less variety this season, but you'll live to see it. That's what matters. The decision being made, life continues. Huh? Something's happening. Gain trait, child? Oh, your daughter has changed in the night. One morning you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After an hour searching the nearby area, you find her sitting alone in a familiar. Please don't tell me she's sitting near the witch's hut. You're surprised the creature had now taken the form of a young girl. Oh, she ran away to do a metamorphosis. You feel relieved to confirm the witch hadn't betrayed you. At your approach, she turns and smiles at you before continuing to thoughtfully stare into space. Sit with her in silence. Then it's time to go home. Now, you do wonder what your daughter is thinking about so intently, but decide not to disturb her. Taking a seat next to her, you appreciate the beauty of the forest and spend time thinking lovingly of your daughter. After nearly an hour, she stands up and heads back home, seemingly finished with her introspection. The decision being made, life continued. A flock of hungry birds have been harassing both your crops and your toy. In fact, they've become quite the nuisance. Purchase some poison and forcibly evict the mouse guys. Use some food to feed the birds in your daughter. Hit your boy and the birds. Ignore the birds. Oh nah. I am so tempted to take this one. I'm so tempted. Oh, but I don't want my daughter developing some evil traits. Use some food to feed the birds. Feeding the birds comes to an unfortunate blow to your stores. But the cheerful smile as your daughter feeds the birds is a magical moment of pride for you. That's what we want. Gain trait, friend of bird. Nothing more could be done to the birds. The matter was later raised. While sitting at home one day, you hear an unexpected knock at the door. Unfortunately, when you go to answer, you find yourself face to face with a man that you would never wish to see again. Though he was older now, the scar running down his cheek was unmistakable. It took me a while to find you this time, Recluse. The sound of his voice sends a long forgotten chill down your spine. This man is your former business partner, from a time when you did work that was less than admirable. I'm sure all this time alone had given you plenty of time to reflect. Are you finally ready to get back to business? Beg the man to leave you alone, kill the man, give the man a significant sum of money to go away, agree to do business with the man. I can't beg him to leave me alone. I can only agree to his demands. You can only run from yourself for so long, you suppose. Perhaps it was time to re-embrace some parts of yourself. After inviting the man in, the two of you speak for several hours. Nostalgia saturates the air, and though you were initially hesitant, the thought of working with him again seems oddly appealing. When he leaves, he gives you some coin, an advance payment, he says. Ooh, hopefully this time things will be different. Nope, they won't. Trust me. But we do need the money. And in one night, you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You've lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Do we live alone? I'm confused. Initially, it was strange. Well, it never stopped being strange, but you were always thankful for the company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parent would feel towards their child. That was normal, at least. The thoughts turn to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone and how you are afraid that you will be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world. It's only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you will be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's only one thing you know you can die proud of. Gain trait poisonous, hallucinogenic, great appeal, and a new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. Oldest the daughter. As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on their own. Oh no, I'm still the recluse. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move. Wait, am I the mushroom? Okay. They even offered to help you build your own home close to theirs. You were welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived, you were officially on your own. You were scared, a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. Loving parent. Chapter 3. A girl on her own. Amelia. Common turquoise fly, agaric. On one particular desolate evening, you decide to take a walk around the outskirts of town. You find yourself overcome with an unaccountably uneasy feeling as you pass by an abandoned neighborhood. The dim amber light casting menacingly as you enter a dilapidated gatehouse. Protruding bits of ruin and decaying wood conspire in your periphery, forming unnerving figures. Something skulks among them. Finally, you spot the thing. Your body tenses with alarm as you distinguish a smooth and grey-brown object in a half-formed approximation of a human shape. A statue of a woman, propelled by unknown means, shambles forward and locks its gaze on you. A set of glowing purple features overlay the stony mask of its face, hovering lines forming her mouth and eyes. You don't know why, but looking at the creature fills you with dismay and revulsion. A glowing image of a mouth cycles through different shapes as an unpleasant whirring emanates from her head. She emits a strange, buzzing voice. Is this one a daughter of the witch? You nod stiffly, bewildered. This one is a preferred subject. I will commence a necessary experiment to determine if this form is for consummation. This thing means you great harm. You feel it in your core. Turn tail and run for the woods. Attack the creature. Tell her you are not a daughter of the witch. Now, attacking the creature seems stupid. You warily at her strange. You warily at her strange. Look warily at the strange stone form. She looks like a monstrosity of unparalleled physical efficiency and power. Maybe you can just convince her to leave. Without thinking, you tell her you aren't really a witch of a daughter of the witch. She freezes, almost taken aback, but her face changes to an expression of anger. But you nodded when I asked you just now, she says, but grinding in her head is low and unsteady. You have no rebuttal. She's right. You did not, if only out of impulse. This one is a daughter of the witch. You are a spawn of the witch of the woods, just as I am a daughter of the something of the what? It felt as if black sludge left her ethereal lips and landed close upon your consciousness. You have no idea what you just said. Oh, does this one find her name repellent? Then let me tell you some more. She approaches him passively, leaning in. You feel venomous ruin seeping into your being as she speaks. She says, like struck by a swinging, your consciousness grapples you afloat and black stops entirety. Potato brain, decay. You awaken in the dead of night to act with pain. Her words, unknowable but unforgettable, have blossomed into curses. While wandering the woods near your home, you suddenly hear something rustling in the foliage ahead of you. Before you can react, a large paw bursts from the brush and locks eyes with you. You sense an intense flaming aura of determination emanate with this wild log. You're sure, you came prepared for this? If it's a snack you want, run for your life. It's just a pig, right? Face it head on. Oh yes. You stiffen your stance and ready yourself as the pig charges. Your large swine hits you in the stomach, but that was just what you wanted. Grabbing either side of the pig, use all your strength to lift it off the ground, twisting back into a perfect suplex. Mad. Squealing as it struggles to its feet, the beast flees defeated, and you head home feeling tougher than before. Yes, mushroom power. One day without realizing it, you stayed in the village much later than intended. The sun had finally set and darkness had enveloped all. Thankfully, you were fully capable of taking care of yourself. You know the settlement well, and the lack of sun does not change that. You decide to take a shortcut through an alley, but to your surprise there are others there as well. Quite a few others in fact. It quickly becomes apparent to you that most of the alley's denizens are going into a single door, one that, when opened, allows you to hear faint sounds of revelry and triumph from within. When they go to leave, many have small trinkets and seem tired from a long night of cheering. Into the door. Steal from one of these easy marks. Mind your own business. Into the door. Just enter. After a while spying, you get the impression that people are free to enter. Your people, basically. So you feel good. It's safe to investigate further. As you step inside the room, the crowd grows in volume and clarity. It takes your eyes a second to adjust to the dim light. You move past a few tables full of merchant goods into a large room full of people. At the center of it all is an arena, toppled with a fighting ring. The ring is currently in use as two combatants circle each other. That's a wrestling ring. One fighter is a man in a crude grasshopper mask, constructed out of dyed linen and leaves. Could that be where the suplex reference came from? As like foreshadowing into like the whole wrestling theme. He moves with a quick staggering step, often feinting at his opponent. His opponent, a tall figure largely obscured by a dark cloak, counters nimbly, keeping low. You watch as the grasshopper man grabs the cloak, using it to pull his opponent around the ring. You find yourself drawn towards the crowd. The mood of the fight is simply intoxicating. Before you know it, you're whooping and hollering with the rest. Finally, in a thrilling conclusion, the great fighter manages to subdue the crude grasshopper. They triumphantly suplex the masked man to the joy of the crowd. Okay, we're not really wrestling fans here, folks. Though initially slightly concerned for the man's health, you find that both fighters have support immediately afterwards. Slowly the crowd begins to dissipate. Yeah, you know that when people only know the suplex as like a wrestling move, then you know it's not like actual wrestling fans, folks. Like, come on now. Come on now. We only know the suplex. Come on now. We're not gonna call it the German suplex. Like, there's different suplex. A back suplex, a German suplex. Uh, okay, a dragon suplex. Uh, there's the other one. Off chicken wing suplex. Come on now. There's a bunch of different suplexes that we could have chose from, but we just chose a suplex. We're not gonna, like, come on now. And I'm pretty sure you don't even know, like, the yeah, I'm pretty sure you're speaking of a German suplex when you're talking about that, not a suplex, because a suplex is different from a German suplex. Yeah. Anyway, continuing on. Slowly the car begins to dissipate. What a thrilling event! As you go to leave, a chubby woman wearing an elaborately decorated pair of sunglasses or pair of glasses stops you. I've never seen anyone quite like you before, love. If you ever want to fight, come back here anytime. I think that we could help you be something spectacular. You accept a scrap of paper the woman hands you. On it lists her name and where to find her. After giving a quick farewell, you dash back home with much to consider. Mommy, I'm gonna be a wrestler. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing color. Fall has arrived. While wandering the woods, you always do your best to remain vigilant to possible outside entities that you could run into. Like the damn pig. That damn pig. Certain animals are keen to cause problems for you, and that's not even to mention the humans. It's with this awareness that you detect a nearby being. You pause, listening to the soft sounds of footsteps. Human footsteps, you suspect. Okay, I need to ask this question. Are we gonna completely like cross over the fact that we still owe the witch money? Or has that payment been settled? Or is the witch now gonna show up in our lives again and threaten to take us away? Imagine like she threatened to take us away, and then we find out later that no, the parents did actually pay, but the witch went back against her word because, like, I guess she needed the materials used to make this child now. But yeah, anyway, it's with this awareness that you detect a nearby being. You pause, listening to the soft sound of footsteps, human footsteps you suspect, release something vaguely human in shape. Ooh, I wonder what it could be. Finally, you can spot the intruder. A realization floods over you. The recluse. Oh, silently retreat into the woods. They just a nope. Rush over to greet him. Obviously, come on now. Silently, you know what? Let's see what the option. The recluse? No. You simply don't have time to get sidetracked by offers of dinner and conversation today. Without allowing them to catch you, you quietly walk away. One day, in need of supplies, you head to the local apothecary. It's always a wonderfully cozy experience inside. You have a particular fondness for a painting hung up near the counter of a mushroom woman, much like yourself with a frog in her lap. Not to mention the vast amounts of ingredients and goodies all readily available to you. Business beats the nitty-gritty of foraging every time. Wait, okay, so did we just completely skip over the fact that that lady gave us a note to become a wrestler? We're not gonna address that ever again. So is she now an apothecary, or was she always an apothecary, or I'm kind of confused here. Unless we just went to the apothecary, I think we just here to like buy ingredients. I think so. I don't think we actually work here. Unfortunately, this time around, you feel a set of eyes staring at you. You turn your neck and barely catch a glance at a strange man following you. He's wearing a look as ravenous and tattered as his wizard's hand. Tell the man off. You're not just some kind of you're not just some component after all. I'm back home as quickly as you can. Nope, screw that guy. You angrily turn on your heel and yell at him. I am a person, you know. You can see him visibly pale. Taking a handkerchief out of his pocket and wiping the sweat from his brow, he chokes on an apology. While tending to your home, you begin to feel an otherworldly pull towards the forest. You can't resist, and moments later you find yourself surrounded by trees and standing in front of a mushroom-covered hut. Deep within you, you know the witch that made you reside here. Huh? Why is there always the option to run away? Into the house cautiously and treat as a stranger. Into the hut with the hope of learning some magic. That's kind of a weird one. You enter the house. You enter the hut and bow respectfully, addressing the witch as you would an apprentice to a master. However, to your surprise, the witch simply breaks out in a sardonic laugh. You poor thing, you are simply far too simple. As if to accentuate her point, the witch reaches out and pats your head, empty, potatoey head. You try to be disappointed, but you're simply too pleased at the pats. Perhaps magic isn't for you after all. There's a knock at your door. When you go to answer it, you see a man dressed in an elegant black suit. Are you the fungal woman of the woods? He asks, as though seeing you in the mushy flesh was not enough. My employer wishes to invite you to a small dinner gathering. She's... You know, when I read that sentence, I was like thinking, damn, they're gonna make mushroom and potatoes, huh? She heard much about you and thinks that this would relish the chance to actually be acquainted. Yeah, they're gonna be acquainted with you around the dinner table as they spreading up, or they handing the pot roast around to the guest. You stand there slightly in shock as the man proceeds to outline the details of the event. You are gonna be the main dish that they serving there. When you arrive, what sort of clothes? You shouldn't even bother, honestly. You're gonna be the meal there. Oh, do you wear clothing? I have to double check the dress code, etc. What kind of clothing? I don't understand. Finally, after handing you a small scrap of paper with elegant writing on it and putting you adieu, the man leaves your doorstep. You think about the event that's been described to you, and you ultimately come to a decision. You have learned to not meddle in the affairs of humans. Attend the event and simply be yourself. Nope, it's much safer this way. I'm not gonna be someone's dinner. You aren't so sure about this. Human social gatherings are strange, complex things. You aren't sure you feel comfortable trying to navigate that. There's no reason for you to attend. You would likely save you some troubles in the end anyways. Over the past few days, you've developed a growing sense of unease, and one particularly gloomy evening, the feeling intensifies. You are in the dying days of autumn, and a chill mid-air bites at your skin. As you look out into the nearby woods, you can feel a strange calling, an invisible force pulling you towards something. It seems you are being summoned. Before you decide if it's a good idea to follow, your body has already made the choice for you. You find yourself uncontrollably walking into the woods. Sometime later, you find yourself in a dark and unfamiliar grove. You're relieved to see your summoner, none other than the witch of the woods. However, your relief is short-lived when you see the cold and serious look on her face as you approach. My daughter, the time has come. Though it was not yours, there is still a debt left unsettled, and I always find a way to collect payment. that people didn't pay. It seems she really does intend to make me pay for your parents' debt. After such a long time, you can't imagine what she will require of you. It certainly would. Maybe because I ran away from the what is the name again? I can't remember. But maybe because I ran away from her, so she assumed that the witch went back on her word. So yeah, I kind of shot myself in the face there. Uh, what did it? Okay, it certainly won't be easy. Ask her for a reprieve. It's not your debt after all. Take care of a dangerous and unsavory matter. Fight the witch. Yeah, I don't think we can fight the witch. Nope. There is one matter you are told that you can deal with for the witch in exchange for clearing your debt. One of my daughters has become dangerous, she tells you. A wandering, mindless monster that has proven to be quite the annoyance. Deal with her for me, and you can consider us even. Something tells you there's a reason she won't describe the specific sort of danger this daughter poses, but you can only accept her terms. The night sky is clear and beautiful as you sit on a stump atop a small hill looking up. Something catches your eye and you notice the sneak of a shooting star. Quick, make a wish. Why did I do that? I'm stupid. Not even you really believe in your wish. You eventually regret not asking for something for yourself. That night, I didn't want to ask that. I wanted to click the other button, but that button was too close. That night, you go to bed grumpy than you were when you started. How do you how do you feel at asking for a wish? One day, while attending to some foraging business in the woods, you make a strange discovery. What else is new? You go to retrieve some fruit from a low shrub, but as you move it around, you notice something out of the corner of your eye, a glint of metal. Mmm, money. Metal? It could be a lost item belonging to some human, or it could be something valuable for you to keep. You go to more closely examine the item and have a realization. It's a trap. Before you is a perfectly sculpted copper hand. As you lean in to look for any marks that could betray its origin, you realize the hand is connected to a body. But it's copper, so it's dead. The thing before you is unbelievable. It's as if someone had taken a person and plated them with copper. You wonder if this is... Oh no. Is this the monster I have to fight? You wonder if this is the case for a second, but the real with horror when you see it move. The being stands up. Surely plated copper could not move with such fluidity. You hear a sound as if the thing was speaking. Interesting. You are unsure of what to say. The thing seems confused at your confusion for a moment before snapping her fingers in thought. It's all. She stretches one arm up, touches the back of her head, and cheerfully speaks. Sorry, I totally forgot to adjust my translator. Can you understand me now? You find yourself shocked for a moment at the triple disposition of whatever this thing is. While your response is slightly delayed by shock, confirm to her that you technically understand what you're saying. This information brings her joy, which results in a little hop and exclamation of the phrase, "Woo!" Her excitement is contagious. When she grasps her hands in yours, you can't help but jump with joy with her. Being this close to her, you get a chance to examine this being more closely. Once you look beyond her glistening coat, you can see her physical characteristics more clearly. She is petite, thinly stalked and standing just slightly shorter than you, with similarly numbered and proportioned limbs. Though her face is human-like in nature, it is not precise. Spotting differences in human faces was occasionally challenging to you, but something about us felt a little off. Maybe an eye too many? Huh? And the humans even normally have this little antenna? Damn. You were quickly snapped out of your thoughts as the being asked you a question. So, are you a member of the dominant species on this planet? I'd love a tour guide if you wanted to show me fun, what people do for fun around here. You consider the request for a second. What do people do for fun? Well, you suppose you have a couple of ideas. Show what your daily life is like. Show what a specific human's daily life is like. Show her the village. Encourage her to leave your woods. Wow. Show her the village. A tour of what humans like to do. Wait a second. You know exactly what humans like to do. They like to live in a little village with other humans. You tell the girl that you are not a member of the dominant species, but that you can show her where they hang out. Without wasting any time, the two of you begin to walk the town. Your guest frequently interrupts your journey, stopping to marvel at some footsteps left in the mud or interrogating you about the function of a pine cone. Thankfully, she's always happy to hear your perspective on these things as well. Your evidently vast knowledge about this area amuses and entertains her curiosity. Of course, when the two of you actually arrive in town, the excitement only grows. There's people, after all, so many of them. The two of you end up near the market, a wide open area with tons of interesting human stuff, like food and even clothing. While browsing, something seems to catch her eye. She picks up a copper-plated door knocker, large and ornate, and carefully caresses it. Wow, this is just like me, huh? She compares the glisten of the knocker to her own skin, tilting it in different ways to see it in different light conditions. The salesperson, despite clearly being unsure about the two of you initially, clearly knows the customer when he sees one. It complements you perfectly. I've never seen such a clear match before. Your copper companion looks at you with a pleading expression. I want this. Oh, purchase it with a 5-finger discount. Sorry. How petty these humans could be over something silly like currency. For a simple door knocker, there was no reason for them to hoard it so tightly. Thankfully, you have your own method to get around such snooty situations. You point your finger beyond the man's shoulder, exclaiming that a dragon is approaching in the distance. He simply squints his eyes at you and spits, I wasn't born yesterday. Well done. You suppose there goes your plan. Oh man, Recluse. Wait, no. You explained to us that humans place great value on minerals like copper, which raises complicated feelings within her. Oh man, I really wanted it though. Are you sure? She turns to the merchant who growls at her in displeasure. Oh well, at least that means I must look super expensive to these people. She gives up and the two of you leave the store. You and the copper woman spend a while longer in the market, but the realization that you cannot participate in commerce seems to have put a damper on her enjoyment. Before long, she raises her arms in a yawn. Well, thank you for showing me to town. I think I'm going to do some independent research on this two-legged species. See you later. Wow. You wave a goodbye. She skips off in the distance. It's a shame you couldn't get a gift, but at least you didn't waste any money on overpriced ox. While aimlessly wandering one day, you decided that the best use of your time would be to do some scouting. It's always useful to expand your mental map of the area. The country near your home is lush, many diverse landscapes to be found. We decided to head to the north, towards a particularly damp, dense forest that's home to a variety of useful plants. As a child, this is where you knew to get medical medicinal plants from. But there was danger here as well. Step into the forest, feeling a humid breeze on your fungal cheek. There's an omnipresent buzz of insects pervading the area. This section of forest feels much different than where you live, and you find it's hard to feel at peace. Despite this, the flora, the fauna is resplendent. You find yourself looking from plant to plant. Finally, you see something interesting. What is that thing? A beautiful large pink flower stands tall in the nearby clearing. The petals are twisted, forming a large sparkling bud that is larger than your head. A single flower is the distinction of a plant, but you observe that its stalk is robust and strangely segmented. It feels a bit like a monolith. For a moment you simply stand and stare at it. Something about the strange plant leaves you with a feeling of awe. You suspect that you may be able to sell this flower in the market for quite a pretty penny, or perhaps keep its splendor for yourself. Hmm. Do I need money? I don't think so. As you contemplate this flower, you realize that you have never before seen one quite like it. It felt wrong. It felt wrong to kill something like that, even if it was only a plant. Some people would claim that you are only a plant. After all, botanicals must stick together. You continue the exploring for a while when you tire, you walk home with the comfort of knowing that you are, if nothing else, polite to fellow plants. Snow begins to fall as you make your way down an unfamiliar road. The day has finally come for you to settle the matter you agreed to with the witch. Yeah, I thought this whole time we were supposed to be hunting for the daughter, but instead we got sidetracked with that other side quest. So it's like, yeah, I didn't really have an option to do the daughter hunting quest. Over the past few days, you've already remembered that a wandering mushroom creature had been spotted lurking around nearby villages. A mindless daughter of the witch, overcome by the urge to destroy and consume. Why is it that all evil creatures wish to destroy and consume? Like I don't understand that. Like they just have the mindless intention to destroy and consume. For what reason is anybody's guess? Why people why villains always like hate the world enough to destroy and consume? It's mind-boggling to me to say the least. Anyway, you have tracked it to the vicinity of a particularly remote village in the region. You get the feeling that successfully slaying the creature will be a minor miracle. Oh, it will be. Ask around the village, hide somewhere with a view, search for tracks, hide somewhere. You pick a spot to search and watch for any strange movement, but once you are set up, you realize you can't actually see much from here. After spending a few minutes considering if you should look for a better lookout spot, you suddenly realize the creature is already upon you. You just barely noticing time and manage to grab hold of your knife before putting plenty of distance between yourself and the creature. You first notice the buzzing, nearly omnipresent, but clearly originating from a misshapen and corpulent form. Stinging insects fly about, crawling on just about every nearby surface. The wandering sister is a pale, lumbering corpse of a mushroom girl. Any reservations you had about destroying or vanishing the horror of the sight before you? Her cap is a mottled brown, and large crevice-like holes mar her already inhuman body. Little intermittent clouds of insects convene at various points on her enormous form. She takes a lumbering step towards you and finally manages to suppress your fear. And finally managing to suppress your fear for a moment, you devise an approach. Try talking to her. You call out fearfully, but are met only with a cacophonous buzzing roar. The thing rushes towards you without a sign of recognition in its eyes. You have no choice but to withdraw. Never taking your eyes off her, you retreat to several meters away from the wandering sister, considering your next action carefully. Feint and throw your knife. What? Having outrun the worst of the swarms, for a moment you turn on your heel and dig your feet into the ground. Despite all your preparation, the sheer disadvantage between the two of you hopelessly runs through your mind that you watch your knife sail past the creature's head. The buzzing insects are unabated and resume their winged assault. Your vision blackens. All that you know in the world is the tearing, stinging swarm. The hum of insects grows louder as your sensation mercifully numbs into nothingness. You sense the wandering sister standing over you, staring blankly, until you two fade into an empty husk. Ending. Husk. Stinging insects have made a home in your empty husks. Wow. Show qualities. I had too much humanity, I guess. Poisonous. Okay. Huh. Poisonous. You have a bad habit of causing great harm to those who take a bite of you. May cause hallucination. You are naturally charming and people seem to love you. Magical matters are forever beyond your understanding. Oh, drop by drop your body decays over time. That's crazy. Hmm. Those two would lead family. Eventually the witch will come for you. You have to develop some rapport with your creator, the witch of the woods. The recluse will always live in your heart and for the time being next door. It's nice. Okay. Congratulations on finishing the first run on of Mushroom Musume. You just discovered one of over 30 endings available in the demo version of the game. We encourage you to experiment a little while growing your next daughter to see how different she can turn out. Be sure to check out your almanac if you want to track your progress. We've got plenty in this demo to keep you busy farming for a while, but I thought I'd tell you a bit about what awaits players in the full game. What? We're excitedly working on a new system of mechanics for you to play between sessions. Each granddaughter earns new spores which can then be used to purchase mushroomy gardening supplies. What you grow in your garden can help you shape future daughters, allowing players a little more control over outcome, or even eventually allowing you to jump right into the third act. Not in a gardening mood, then your hardened spores can instead be gambled away in exchange for rare goodies. How mysterious. Don't you want to know how you get it? We're also working hard at work writing. We're also hard at work writing. The full game will have double the word count and double the amount of story content, including an expanding overarching plot. Delve into a dungeon, found a town bustling with fungal life, or maybe even destroy the Witch of the Woods for good if you want. Not to mention never before seen mushroom goals, a cavalcade of new music, even some unique collectibles that are something else entirely. We aim to release the full game in the first part of 2025. Wishlist us on Steam to keep up with the newest news, plus it helps us out a lot. PS, since we're going to be buffing the core gameplay loop, players won't be able to transfer their progress from the demo version. You'll get a little bonus in exchange at least. Just thought you'd like to know. Thanks for playing. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, that was a long game. Like, yeah. Oh, okay. Recap time. Okay. So, as far as I understand, the witch's death wasn't the boy that got killed by one of the daughters of the witch. Um, I never got to see the recluse again, which is sad. Um, so I guess the witch was a deep people promise to the recluse. I'm genuinely shocked by that, but okay. I thought they were just gonna make a run through whoops. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I missed there. It was just that. Um, yeah, it was really just that. I could have gone to that thing also, but they probably would have turned me into a forest stew, considering I'm a mushroom. But yeah, there's been that. So